Check out this Roadshow Rewind.
This morning in Your Money, we are talking privacy when it comes to your personal documents. Shredding is one of the best tools against identity theft. And here now this morning to tell us more is Jared Wilbur, Vice President, Corporate Security Governance Officer for Washington Trust. Good morning, Jared.
Morning.
Great to have you here.
Thank you.
Such an important topic. I think we all can agree that safety is the name of the game with regard to everything in our lives, finances, personal, professional, all of that. But let's get right down to it here involving shredding. When it comes to documents, we need to classify personal, of course, versus private. How do we make that distinction really right off the bat here?
So personal documents versus private documents, it's important to look at the type of information that the document contains. So you really want to be sensitive about how you destroy anything that contains address, name, social security number, dates of birth, account numbers, passwords, things like that.
Right, because that's why it's so crucial that we be vigilant with regard to this. If we want to shred these documents, if we want to take care of if we want to unburden ourselves of clutter or whatever it may be, we really need to make sure that we're taking a look at what we're getting rid of, don't we?
Right, yeah, because we hear so much about data breaches, which are largely out of our control. But identity thieves do continue to target people using physical documents that contain that information.
Right, and we hear so much about being safe online nowadays with regard to social media, this, that, and the other thing. But in reality as well, we have to be cognizant and aware of all these things, don't we?
Right, and that includes, documents you typically consider when you think about secured disposal, like bank statements, tax documents, once you get beyond those retention periods. But it also includes things that you might not typically think of, like old family photos, because those can be used to create false identification.
Right.
Or even loan, mortgage statements, utility bills, because those can be used as a second form of ID in credit applications.
So many of these things can be incriminating, so to speak, in some type of way. And these are the types of things we see, maybe in movies or on a TV show, but it's important to realize that these are going on in our everyday lives and it could happen to us.
That's right.
Yeah, so very crucial here. Now let's talk about how we go about shredding. We've made the decision, we want to take care of these things. I know that sometimes there are different events, we can do it in our home. How do we go about it?
So if you're doing it in your home, there's two types of shredders. You can use a regular straight cut shredder. Better and more secure would be a cross cut shredder, which cuts the strips into very tiny pieces. But also Washington Trust is hosting a community shred day on Saturday, October 20th at 8 of our branches in Rhode Island and one in Mystic, Connecticut.
Absolutely. There's something also very empowering about shredding, I think. And not only you're doing something good, but it's fun to do as well.
Right.
And you, of course, encourage the community, obviously, through this event, through your dispensing of knowledge, if you will, really to be involved and to take this type of thing seriously, I would presume.
Right.
And for you guys, I would imagine that the challenges are really, for you, education. You want the people to know what they can and can't do. And you've alluded to some very important things here, but it's really never ending, isn't it?
Right, yeah, you have to stay vigilant.
And for you, are there questions that come up regularly from people? Is it kind of the things we went over? Hey, is this shreddable? Is this not shreddable?
Yeah, we get questions from people about not only documents, but also how do they dispose of old computers and stuff like that, because there's a lot of information on those physical hard drives too that needs to be protected.
Absolutely. Well, beware of that tie around the shredder, buddy. All right. Good to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Very important information as always. If you guys would like even more on keeping your identity safe, because that's really what it's all about when it comes to your personal documents, we'll have a link to Washington Trust, to the event, all of the information you need to know. It's at rhodeshow.com.
Be sure to catch The Rhode Show, weekday mornings at 9 on WPRI 12.